good to be with God's people. Those of like precious faith that by chance you haven't seen because of circumstance or what have you. But it really is a pleasure to be here. I thought earlier today when I was reading, I read there was a time when Jesus came out and he went over to a city called Nain, I believe it was. The Bible says when he got nigh the gate, when he got right up next to the gate, here they was carrying a dead man. The Bible clearly said he was dead. And of course, they said many of his disciples had followed him, and a great other multitude of people, many people, I think is what it said. And of course, they run into a funeral procession, and out through the gate they come, and Jesus observed all this. The Bible said, of course, there was a lot of weeping and carrying on, and Jesus was moved with compassion. For you see, it was a widow woman who this was her only son. Now, we don't know a whole lot about her, but we know enough that it wasn't a good time for her. Her husband was gone. Her only son was gone. And here she was. And no doubt, Brother Sidney, I was thinking when I was reading this, all her hopes, all her dreams had died.
That's right.
Go ahead now.
Yes.
And now they was carrying him out, and they were going to bury all her hopes and all her dreams. I suppose there wasn't any social safety net and social security, or any kind of community fund, or no Section 8, no food stamps, no, I guess they got that down here too. She was in trouble. It wasn't supposed to be like this.
Say it now. Go ahead.
This wasn't how she envisioned it.
Come on now.
She was young and had gotten married, and I don't know if she'd had any other children died. I don't know if this was her only son, and he was gone, and the future didn't look good.
Nope.
In fact, everything she had hoped for had died, and now they were going to bury her.
Say it.
Yeah.
Now, my situation wasn't what hers was, but I'll tell you, there's been a few times I felt like my plans and my hopes, my dreams had died. I'll get out of the way in just a moment. And I tell you, it just got to working on me. And there's a great multitude of people there. I'd say there was some moneyed people there. That didn't help her.
Come on.
There could have been some doctors there. That didn't help her.
That's right.
There could have been some influential people in the city. That didn't help her. She needed help, and nobody else could help her.
Say it now. Go ahead.
That's an awful place to be, and it's a wonderful place. I've been there when nobody could help
Come on.
but the Lord.
Right.
And Jesus came and he saw this, and he was moved with compassion, and he come up and he put his hand out and he touched the bier. And when he did, those men that carried him stood still. Now, I don't know what they felt, but I'll tell you what, when Jesus touches you, you'll feel something.
Yes. Right. Yes, you will.
And then he told her, he said, "Weep not." And very simply, it's not very elaborate. We don't read or record. It's not recorded in any great prayer. In just a few words, and he rose and delivered her back. Delivered him back to his mother. And I'll tell you, we need somebody to help us.
All right.
Yes, we do.
Some years ago, and I may have told this before, I don't know, but some years ago, I went out. There was a fellow I'd met in Home Depot. Wonderful story. And got to talk to him. He was a black brother, and he invited me to a revival they was having. And I wasn't exactly sure where the church was, and I set out to try to find it. I was going to go one night. I was by myself, and I got turned around. I come up and down a few streets. Finally found it. Got parked and went in, and it made me a few minutes late just trying to find it. And so when I went in, they were standing up, inviting the Lord into the service. And it's good to do that. We open with prayer, don't we? We invite the Lord into the service. Well, 45 minutes later, they were still inviting the Lord into the service. Now, I'll just be honest with you, I was a little carnal that night. I'm just being honest. And they kept inviting the Lord. I'm thinking, man, maybe you don't want to come. After 45 minutes of inviting, But the brothers up there, and I'll tell you, they really wanted the Lord to come by.
All right.
And I never will forget, Brother Steve. I was up there, and of course I was standing, and I was with them, maybe half-heartedly at the time. But the more they got to praying, the better I felt, and the longer it went, and the more excited they got. And finally, this brother, he said, I never will. He said, "Lord," he said, "we want you to show up and throw your weight around." And I'll tell you, about that time, the Lord showed up.
Come on, Brother Randy, say it.
And I'll tell you, you know what we need? We need somebody.
Yes.
Come on.
And I'll tell you who it is. We need the Lord, Brother Steve, to show up and throw his weight around. Listen, there's some folks here that you thought, listen, I know your dreams. You thought your dreams had died. The devil's told you he ain't never going to get saved.
Come on now.
God help us, Lord. Come on.
I don't think I've missed it, but listen, I know how he talks. I know how the devil talks.
Yes.
You'll get discouraged, you get down, he'll never get saved.
Yeah.
You might as well forget it. But you know what those folks knew? They knew if they kept inviting,
Come on now.
if they kept asking him,
Say it, go ahead.
if they kept pondering after the Lord, that he'd show up. And no matter how bad, mind you, he was dead.
Right.
Her dreams had died. And now they're going out and they're going to bury her dreams. I tell you, don't get any worse than that.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh, God.
It may look bad. You may feel like it's too late. It's done. I'll never. There ain't nothing else for me to do for the Lord. But I'm telling you, you just need the Lord to show up and throw his weight around. I'm telling you, there was folks that day, they could have helped certain situations. Maybe if he was alive, they could have doctored him. If she needed a bill paid, maybe they could have paid for it. Maybe if she needed some kind of legal work or political things or something were done, there was probably somebody in attendance that could have done it.
All right. Help us, Lord.
But they was on the way to the cemetery.
Say it now.
Right.
There wasn't nobody between where she lived and that hole in the ground that was fixing to receive her dreams.
Come on. Oh, God.
Oh, hallelujah.
That there was somebody between where she was at and where she was going that could throw their weight around.
Come on now, say it.
Right.
Wouldn't it be wonderful tonight if God intervened in your situation?
Come on. Come on.
Oh, God is.
Yes.
Why can't He?
Do it.
Come on now.
Oh, God.
Oh, glory to God. Hallelujah.
Why couldn't He?
Hallelujah.
Listen, your dreams, your hopes, your desires, I'm telling you what God has put in your heart is not dead.
Thank God. Thank God. Thank God.
Dear Jesus.
I don't care how far gone it is.
Right.
We just need the Lord to show up.
That's it. That's it.
And He can show up tonight. Why do we want to look for Him next week?
Come on
Next
now.
month? Next year? I need Him tonight.
Yes.
Right now. Right now.
Right now.
Right.
You're right. You're right.
Hallelujah.
You're right.
And He can.
Yes.
Okay.
And He will.
Hey, thank God.
Hallelujah.
Thank God.
We just need to invite Him.
Hallelujah.
And really mean it. They really wanted Him to show up because they knew if He showed up,
Change everything.
things was going to move.
All right.
Things was going to happen.
Hallelujah, Jesus.
I think too often we come just mentally prepared for the status quo.
Come on now.
Help us, Lord.
We go. I'm not. Please don't. I'm not throwing any slurs or I'm telling you, people are the same everywhere. Now, I don't mean a thing bad about it, but sometimes, you ever been in a rut?
Yes.
Come on.
Right. Yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Till you
yes,
get the Lord moving just right.
Oh, God.
You can come out of that.
Oh, God.
Yes.
You come out of that. We just need the Lord to move.
That's
Yes.
right.
That's right.
He has exactly what we need.
That's right.
Yes.
You may be facing, brother, you may be facing something that a sister over here isn't. And this sister may be going through something that one of the brothers or sisters up here. Listen, it doesn't matter.
No, it don't.
Does it get any worse than what this widow was? I mean, we've been there.
Help us, Lord. Help us, Lord. Help us,
Oh,
Lord.
God, help us.
Help us, Jesus.
Deliver us, Lord.
Yes.
Help us. I think the Lord can revive what He's put in your heart.
All right.
Right.
That's right.
It's not dead.
All right.
You tell the devil he's a liar. It is not dead.
That's right. Come on now.
I'm telling you, all you need. Listen,
Come on.
the pastor cannot fix it.
All right.
The board, I don't even know anything about it. The board cannot fix it.
That's right. Come on now.
If you got a janitor, I'll throw them in. They can't even fix it.
Come on.
Your Sunday school, sometimes your spouse can't fix it.
You're right. You're right.
Your therapist can't fix it. Your doctor can't. We need the Lord to move.
You're right.
And He's the only one that can fix it.
You are right. Say it now.
Thank God.
Say it now. Woo.
I thank God that we're serving a God
Go ahead.
that can throw His
ahead.
weight around.
Go ahead.
We've heard that expression. He said, well, who does He think He is? Somebody who really, just kind of influential person. Who does He think He is? Well, I tell you, I don't care who they are. They can only move so much.
That's right.
But we serve a God tonight that can move anything in your life.
Thank you, Lord.
Come on, man.
We are serving a God,
Right.
Brother Danny, that can move anything. Nothing's too hard for God. It's not too late. It's not too dead. And I'd like to encourage you tonight to believe that God can move in your situation.
That's right.
You ever found it easier to believe for somebody else?
Yeah.
Huh?
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, He'll move, Sister Debbie, in your situation.
Amen.
It ain't dead.
That's right.
That which He's put in your heart is not dead.
Praise God.
Hallelujah.
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 Can we give the Lord a hand?